Hi, I'm Katie and I'm here at Buescher State Park in Smithville, Texas. As you might be able to tell by the building behind me, this park was constructed in the 1930s by the Civilian Conservation Corps, or the CCC. President Franklin Delano Roosevelt created the Civilian Conservation Corps during the Great Depression, a really rough economic time in our country. Unemployment was staggering and millions were out of work, including one particularly hard-hit demographic, young men. They were often uneducated or had no job skills. So Roosevelt created the Civilian Conservation Corps to serve two purposes. Number one, to support those young men and their families back at home with paychecks and work through the CCC. And number two, to use that labor and budget to improve and conserve our nation's natural resources, creating parks and natural areas that we still enjoy today. But the stereotypical image that we see of the CCC boy is not altogether accurate. The CCC was told to be colorblind in all of its enrollment by the federal government in Washington. Some states did better than this at others at first, but eventually all states enrolled about 10% African American enrollees, which was equal to the population at the time. For the first couple years of the CCC, from 1933 to 1935, black and white men served together in the same companies, but they didn't have quite the same experience. In these integrated companies, black men were often relegated to just kitchen duty and serving meals. They didn't get to do the work in nature, the natural resource work that they were promised when they enrolled in the CCC. Sometimes they were actually denied recreational or educational opportunities, which was a huge part of camp life in the Civilian Conservation Corps. Perhaps the most significant difference between white and black enrollees was that after their time was up and the parks were open, black enrollees were unable to visit most Texas state parks. Places that they worked hard to build, like Buescher State Park, where I'm standing, Bastrop State Park, Goose Island, Davis Mountains, Balmorhea, Meridian, Palmetto, and more, only opened their doors to white visitors. Black visitors were not allowed. And this legacy of segregation continued until the 1960s, when finally public facilities were desegregated and anyone, no matter the color of their skin, was allowed to visit. And maybe you or your parents or your grandparents were alive in the 1960s. It was not a long time ago that not everybody was able to visit a state park. But today, everyone is welcome in Texas state parks, and we're working to tell the stories of the people who made an impact on the conservation of this land so that we and future generations may continue to enjoy it.